Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Malo,
Rough Lion.
T-Boogie, man.
To the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Hello, world. We're back. This is Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. I'm your host for tonight, T Boogie. And I think everybody probably know what we're going to talk about tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it, man. Let me introduce the fellas. Let's start with the top left.
What up, man? Scruff Line, good ass sports. You know what time it is. Shout out to the city of Baltimore. Hosted the very historic Preakness Stakes. I was in attendance on behalf of my employer, and it was pretty nice. It was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Got to partake in some good, clean gambling and gambling action, and saw some pretty crazy things there. Also did see Odell Beckham there on Saturday. Shout out to the boy Odell Beckham. Getting acclimated into his city, and the weekend.
Okay. Did you drink a mint julep?
Nah, but I did have a black-eyed Susan.
Okay. Any fancy hats out there with the ladies wearing the hats?
Oh, tons of them, man. Some of them were pretty atrocious, but some of them look pretty good.
I gotta get to one of these horse races, man. But
I seen this fella with a hat look like the dude off of Get Out, but the hat was just like ginormous on the guy because the dude had like a little head and he was a short dude. So I was just like, right, that dude almost fell over with the hat. He was leaning backwards. I thought he was about to lose his balance.
Tip over like a toddler. All right, bottom left.
Not Will Smith, but we're going to the finals. Welcome to Miami. Not in uno, not in dos, not in tres, but in cuatro. Arrivederci.
You've been saying praises of Miami all playoffs, so I salute you for that one because I didn't see.
Might be Cinco though, bro. Keep it a buck.
No, it's not. They're only down by 6 with 10 minutes or less than 9 minutes, around 9 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. We'll see how it goes. And last but not least, man, top right.
Yeah, you know who it is, your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials, man. If you new, hit that like button, that follow button. Got a great show as always, man. Lots of sports to get into, maybe some culture as well. So stick around, man. We're gonna get into a few things tonight.
Oh, yes, indeed. And like I said, I think people know what we're going to hit first, man. It's NBA playoffs, baby. King James was swept by the Joker and what most didn't predict. So how do we feel about this series, man? I know Embiid got the MVP, but Joker is on a crazy tear, and it's looking like his supporting cast is stepping up, man. So anybody catch these games? Like, how do y'all feel about the Nuggets heading into the finals?
Go ahead, G.
I just want to say it's official, the return of the big, but not just the regular big, your hybrid big. Is official. It's no more just about the guards. It's officially the return of the big.
Okay, return of the big. I won't hashtag that, but I see where you're going.
Pause. Whole lot of pause. I just caught myself real late. Throwing text out again. God damn.
Regular big, but no. Joker's going through a tear, man. Scrum, jump in.
I say the bigs never left. But that's just me. I'm a big fella. Gotta rock with the bigs. Real talk though, Jokic. I said last week that if Jokic beat AD and LeBron in this series, that I would be thoroughly impressed. So safe to say I'm extremely impressed with the sweep. I've never seen LeBron get swept in this fashion. Actually I have. I think it was against the Spurs. And then he was really outmatched in that situation. And the other time I can't remember. Might have been the Warriors. But also equally outmatched. In this situation, I didn't feel like he was outmatched in terms of the roster that he had, but he was outmatched in terms of the skill set of the Joker. They had him on smash. So to me, the Joker's run is historic. I think it's about time we start putting the Joker respectfully the 2 MVPs, 3 MVPs did put him in the conversation, but now he can respectfully be in the conversation with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, the Shaquille O'Neals, the Will Chamberlains, the Bill Russells. Once he starts winning a chip, then we can talk about Bill Russell. But he's doing his thing, and I think hats off to Jokic. He's playing the way a real MVP should. And I think maybe not getting MVP was exactly what he needed. So he's welcome for that.
Okay, I mean, you threw some big names out there. So, I mean, that's basically you're already saying he's better than Ewing, Mourning, Bonus, Divac, a couple of other bigs.
No, not necessarily. Patrick Ewing, I don't recall, never won MVP, but he also never won a chip either. And they did go to the chip. So we'll see what he does in the chip. He's still in Patrick Ewing territory, I guess, but Ewing never won MVP. So
David Robinson,
he better than David Robinson, to be honest.
Okay, David Robinson got some rings, but I hear you. I tend to agree, man. Jokic is a generational talent, man. Rome, you been keeping up with this?
Oh yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Look, last week I even said that I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers lost this series in 5 games, right? And it was mostly because I felt like the Lakers were lucky to even be in this spot. When you think about it, they won the play-in game, right? And then who they have? They had the Grizzlies, right? They had to go through the Grizzlies. Then after the Grizzlies, they had to go through the Warriors. Like the Lakers emptied their clip to get here, right? The Lakers gave their all. LeBron put his best foot forward to even get to the Western Conference Finals. AD's been shaky all playoffs, really. So, I mean, to ask them to beat the Nuggets or to expect them to beat the Nuggets was a tall task. And the way that Jokic is going crazy, it's really not even a surprise that they swept them. And I think that you have to put a ton of respect on Jokic's name. 2 MVPs, and he just swept LeBron James, the king. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, this is a statement. You didn't give him the 3rd MVP in a row, so he took the king out in 4 games in LA. Like, let's be real here. Like, this is a huge moment for Jokic. I think he deserves all his flowers.
Okay, a question: is this a bigger moment for Jokic or a black mark on LeBron's legacy?
Bigger Jokic.
Bigger for Jokic. I think it's not as black of a mark on LeBron's legacy for the reasons that I stated. Like, the Lakers were lucky to even be there. If you take LeBron off that team, do they get past the play-in? Do they get past the Grizzlies? Do they get past the Warriors? Like I said, that was their run. Yeah, I mean, to ask them to get past the Nuggets too, that would have been crazy. So,
Well, they say to beat the champ, you gotta beat the champ. And LeBron's not the reigning champ, but he is a champ and the king on the throne. So it might be, and the fact that LeBron wants to retire might be Tom that the vultures is coming for the throne. It's coming. They coming like all the greats, like great battles with the throne.
Yeah, when you play an arcade style video game, it's bosses on each level. Like knocking LeBron out in 4, you just took a boss out with the highest points you could get. So I mean that's definitely big time for Jokic.
Joker the Kingslayer. Okay, so little Game of Thrones reference, obviously. I'm sure.
Solid choice.
But I mean, let's talk about it. Scruff, you mentioned LeBron retirement. He kind of flirted with the idea. He wasn't, he didn't take a position and asked about it. Is it time for LeBron to hang it up? I mean, if you watch the series, I felt like, I mean, LeBron's playing injured, but I felt like he had no legs in general. I felt like I was shocked to see him letting Roy Hachimura and Austin Reeves and guys that might not even have playing cards take a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anyone for Austin Reeves' card or jersey or who's ever heard of him before now. But,
I heard of him.
LeBron was kind of passing the ball and standing around, man. So is it time for him to hang it up or?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, time out. Yeah, we thank you, Scrub. Thank you.
Because
you said he was just passing the ball, standing around. Didn't he just have 40 last night?
We have the worst person to frame this question right now. Like, T is the host, he's the scheduled host, ladies and gentlemen. But the way that question was framed is ridiculous. LeBron James took 10 more shots than anybody on the team. 10 more. And you're talking about, he was letting these other guys do it. He had 40 points. Like, what are you talking about?
you're looking at one game in a vacuum. I'm talking about the totality of the series. LeBron was very passive. He actually went for a stretch of like 0 for 13 and threes at one point.
He was historically bad shooting the ball in the fourth quarter, and that is part of the reason they did lose the series. But
So
he did
when
play
so
pretty
when
well
Jimmy
most.
does it, so when Jimmy does this with his non-drafted, Jimmy's a great person. When LeBron does this, all of a sudden my man needs to like give it up, hang it up.
Hold on. I'm not as high on Jimmy Butler as everyone else is. I think Jimmy's a dog.
Well, you need to be, sir.
I think Jimmy's a dog. I think he's a tough player, but I don't think Jimmy is the type of guy that you can give the ball to every night to win the game. I think he does other things to
Yeah,
help the team win.
I
Did he
think he's
not
a
show
great
it
player
against your
too.
boys? Did he not show it against?
I think
Uh,
he's a great player too. I think LeBron. I think the part of the reason LeBron shouldn't retire is the same reason why I guess you're saying the stuff you're saying, which is that he's an unselfish player, that he likes to get other players involved, and he's more of a facilitator. He's a great scorer too. Obviously, he's the most points all time. So I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not a good scorer anymore. He's still a great scorer. But he's gonna, in order for his teams to succeed, he's gonna have to make the engine run, and that's who LeBron is.
I mean, does he still have that? You just said he went for 40, right? He tanked my parlay by not getting a triple double. Bet on him to get a triple double.
Jesus Christ! See, ladies and gentlemen, this one it comes out.
He got 9 assists, and it wasn't his fault. Schroeder can't shoot. These guys are missing open shots, but that was game 4. There were 3 other games where LeBron is a great facilitator. He wasn't facilitating.
Well, to be honest, though, T, with all due respect, I mean, it was a sweep, yes, but I don't think that really indicates how close the series was, because this last game was like a 2-point game. The game before that was a very close game. I think if LeBron didn't roll his ankle, you know what he did? He rolled his ankle and then he tightened up his sneakers, and every baller knows what that is. You know what I'm saying? That man, he rolled his ankle. So and then he missed the layup down those stretch down that game. It might have been because of that. I mean, it looked like Father Time got him on a couple possessions, but I mean, he was still neck and neck. This could have been a longer series, but they didn't close out in the pivotal moments. So I could have seen this series still been going on if it wasn't for a couple minor moments that just didn't go the way that he would like. But so no, I don't think he should retire. I think he could be right back in this next year. But either way, even if he's not going to win the chip, he still was in the top 4 teams to win the chip. So it's like it's a toss up. He could still get his, like, you know what I mean?
So you got all in agreement that he needs to come back next year. Like, he still has a lot left in the tank.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on it. I'm on the fence with it. And I understand what he means by he has a lot to think about, because I think it's LeBron is one of those players where it's like you really gotta contemplate what coming back could potentially do to your legacy. Like, you don't want to add too many years on where people can say, well, the last 6-7 years of his career, he never got that chip. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to add too many of those on. You don't want to put your body through a whole season, especially if the team isn't gonna, or the organization isn't gonna put enough pieces around you to really push for that chip. So, I mean, I think part of it is to put pressure on the Lakers and Pelinka to make some more maneuvers for him. But
Nah.
I don't know. I think I can see him retiring, but I don't think he necessarily needs to.
Nah, I think the Lakers finally have an understanding that LeBron is not the GM, and I think what Pelinka did say, because I do read, and I read pretty well. I read the comments about Pelinka. He said that he's looking to keep the young core intact, so he's not looking to strip his young roster to bring in a guy like Kyrie Irving or something like that. Nah, he's going to build around. He's going to keep guys like Austin Reeves. He's going to keep guys like Rui Hachimura. He's going to keep D'Angelo Russell, even though he played terrible last game. He's going to keep the young guys around there. He learned his lesson. You need young legs. Like, you can't have these old guys.
Bron's not a fan of D'Angelo Russell, from what I've been reading.
Yeah, I don't think D'Angelo Russell stays there.
Well, he didn't
So
say
that'll be
he didn't call
interesting.
him out by name. The point is that he says he's going to keep the young.
But you
core
read.
around.
But you said you read. You said you read.
I'm suggesting. I'm insinuating.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him say he's gonna keep that young core together, and like you said, maybe he's learned. Um, but I don't think if LeBron scores 40, damn near triple double, and they're still losing, I'm not sure if keeping that young core together matters because now who's the leader? Anthony Davis. Good luck.
I mean, let's be respectful to the fact that LeBron had a great game in Game 4, and AD didn't play very well. I think we should point some fingers over there if you want to point fingers.
No,
Yeah.
Of course, as you should. AD is not the guy as we thought he would be.
he had a 40-point game as well.
In game two, and LeBron didn't play well either. So I mean, we could point the
They kind
finger
of both played
either
well.
which
That's the
way, but
problem.
they both got to.
That's the problem playing with Bron,
I
man.
don't. I don't. I mean, guys, you guys are deep into the NBA. Like, look at the whole Lakers team, bro. Like, be honest. Like, were they lucky to get to the Western Conference Finals or not? If you're a Lakers fan, should you be upset or should you
I
be
wouldn't. I
excited that
wouldn't
your
say.
team even went this far?
I wouldn't say lucky, but they were fortunate.
No,
That's those are synonyms. Like, it's
Synonyms, antonyms, adjectives, superlatives, all that good shit.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they were fortunate. To me, I mean, to be honest, I think they had just enough gas to get past Golden State. And let's be honest, this was not Golden State's best year. So I think T does have some premise that they aren't that good. They're not that great. They're not that far off either. They could easily be in the chip right now.
okay. Better swept now than swept in the chip, I suppose.
It's like this. You gotta celebrate because you started the season. What was it? 2-10,
yeah,
and no
man.
one gave these guys a shot. Shit.
Oh,
People
yeah.
even after the trading deadline, people were still finding it funny. Yeah, they might not even make it to the fucking the play-in. Like people still wondered were gonna make it to play. They snuck in the play-in,
People,
and they did what they were supposed to
They
do.
went on a crazy run to make it to the playoffs. Period. And this team hasn't been together that long, so I'd be willing to say if you put this team together again next season, you keep the core and you make a few maybe tweaks here to the roster that they could definitely compete in the West.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay, I read something online. I saw a tweet. I don't remember who it was from. Probably an analyst or something. I don't know. But it alluded to the fact that potentially an option for LeBron would be to sit out next year, hang out with Bronny while Bronny's in college, sign wherever Bronny goes next year. Does that sound plausible at all?
No,
yeah.
that's silly. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. So he's gonna go just hang out with Ronnie so he could just be around sleeping on the futon at his college
I mean, he's
dorm
not
or
gonna
something. What are you
go
talking
hang. He's
about?
not gonna go hang in the dorms, Scruff. But he's gonna take a year to rest and recover. Like I feel like I've seen similar things where it's like, and then he pops back up right when Bronny's about to
Nah,
get drafted, talking
that's
about, oh, who
ridiculous.
wants to sign LeBron? So I mean, I
Nah,
wouldn't be
nah,
surprised, bro. I wouldn't be surprised. It's
no. Actually,
it's ridiculous, but we're talking about a guy who had a televised decision about where he's signing. Like this falls in line with being king.
so you think he would sit out a whole year so that way he could go sign with another team?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
doesn't
put
he have?
anything past LeBron, bro. I don't put anything past him.
Nah, that's ridiculous. Bronny committed to the University of Southern California because they are going to be around in the university in Southern California, which is where the Los Angeles Lakers play. Ironically,
This is a guy that wants to be known for Taco Tuesday, like Rome said. You can't put anything past him.
bro, but
The
he's known for a lot more
slander,
than
the
Taco
slander
Tuesday.
here.
You
I forgot,
disrespectful.
yo, this is the biggest LeBron hater. Is it
No,
because my
no,
man got his hairline back, T? That's why you hate him? And
no.
his
Realistically, right? Realistically, when I read, I mean, when Scruff said it did sound kind of silly, but then when Rome said it, it wasn't. It made more sense. So I do fall in the middle, but I want to lean to Rome's side because I'm thinking of the health benefits of sitting out a year, right? LeBron's a year older than me. I know what it feels like to be athletic, not to his level, but to work out play a basketball game, hit the weights and then have to wake up the next day. And even with all the
Mhm.
trainers and massages, and man, your body starts to break down eventually, man. It's a
That's
reason
right.
why you don't see too many cars from the 70s and 80s on the road. Like, I don't know how well you maintain them. Like, eventually they just, slowly but surely, this thing breaks, this thing breaks. And if you do come back next season, what happens if you come back next season and you do take a big injury, right? Didn't we see Kobe take an injury late in his career? Like
Hmm. The
what,
The
Achilles.
Achilles.
yeah, what happens if LeBron blows out a knee or something? How much harder would it be to get that fifth ring then? Now you're old and you're rehabbing.
Nah, I don't
And
know.
and what does
See,
that say
because
to your legacy? Then now you're going out with an injury and stuff, and that's how certain people are going to remember you. There's definitely a lot that goes in to the retirement. I mean, we saw Brady announce his retirement and then come back. You know what I mean? Like these decisions aren't simple, especially when you're a Tom Brady or LeBron James caliber player.
All right, come on,
that
fellas. Let's
rest
be
can turn into
realistic,
rust
man.
real
You're
quick,
talking
though.
about a guy that spends over $1 million to take care of his body. Let's be realistic. Next year, he's only going to play 2/3 of the season. We can guarantee he doesn't play less than 60 games.
Bro, 60 games is still twice
Yeah,
what
that's a lot.
a college player.
Yeah,
That's
but you're still talking about he's going to take 2 weeks off here, a week off here. That's enough to keep him nice and going by the playoff run. I could see LeBron missing half the month of January.
what if the team is out of playoff contention while he's they're losing games while he's out? Like
It all depends on what the Lakers do this offseason. If they manage to pull in Kyrie Irving, shit. I just read a report right now that the Lakers were like having talks with the Hawks about trading for Trey Young.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Like, you know what
Um,
I mean? Like the Lakers could pull something, and let
I
alone you. LeBron just needs to play at least 60 games. He's not trying to win no MVP. He's not trying to win all teams nothing. He don't care. At this point, the next season is going to be about what the Lakers could bring to him. So that way, when they do have another playoff run, he's ready to go.
man, that's fair. I, that's realistic, right? He comes back next year, he's not playing a ton of games. The awards and accolades don't matter. It's only the rings, the ring or nothing now. He's Frodo Baggins.
nah,
Think
I mean,
about
I
it.
look at it
This
like
is
this,
why I say
bro.
he's
He's
greater
still
than
gonna be
Michael
playing at an
Jordan.
all-star level.
This is why I say LeBron James is greater than Michael Jordan. Half of his career was either a conference finals appearance or not.
Well, Jordan did retire since we're having a retirement debate. Jordan did take 2 years off with out of those 2 of those years. I mean, 3 years off, three more. So uh, don't just be throwing your man LeBron to the top like that.
Because he is better than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan he's not greater than my
Jordan,
man.
Jordan
I don't
never.
understand why he would retire
Jordan
when he
Jordan
could just.
Jordan never had to go through a loaded Spurs team. Jordan never had to go through a crazy backcourt, the best shooting backcourt of all time.
Look,
Jordan ain't never had to go through some of the best teams.
you know
Jordan, who he had to go against in the finals?
why we don't
Karl Malone.
you know why we don't
Oh, and the postman don't play on Sunday, right? All he had to go against Karl Malone.
Karl Malone,
Yeah.
John Stockton and Jeff Hornacek. John,
Whenever
those are two,
whenever people start this debate and they do this, I always just feel like it's Kobe. Like Kobe took Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol and beat the Celtics. Like the Celtics when they were dogs,
Uh,
bruh.
don't
Like,
disrespect Pau Gasol. You're disrespecting Pau Gasol.
People
That's
run that back
crazy.
like Paul Gasol is not a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah, like Pau Gasol some kind of
bruh.
scrub.
Oh my God, bruh. What is he? Is he all that without Kobe? Is he all that without Kobe?
Is Kobe all that
He's
without Pau
literally like the
Gasol?
all-time leading scorer for the Grizzlies.
Paul Gasol, a NBA top.
For the Grizzlies? For the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Karl Malone is a top.
NBA franchise. He only played for a couple years there.
It is an NBA franchise. You're right.
I mean, I don't want to turn this debate into who's the greatest. I mean, these guys all had their eras. LeBron arguably was dominant for longer. That's probably the feather in his cap that he can say he was healthy and he played. But the longer you play, the more risk you encounter. So I don't know. I'm not mad at LeBron. I'm impressed that he was able to drag this team even to the Western Conference Finals. But the Joker just ended up being too much, man. Batman struggles with Joker himself, man. It happens. It happens.
But y'all talking about how so are we not giving the Nuggets the credit that they have, the
That's
credit
what
that
I'm
they
saying.
need?
Like,
And
I really
we're
think
talking like
they
the
balled
Jokic
out.
didn't have a loaded team with him. Like Jamal Murray is like some kind of scrub. Like Aaron Gordon was like it's like some regular player. Like come on now.
Right.
Like
Jamal
Michael
Murray
Porter
played
Jr.
crazy.
isn't somebody.
Hold on. They have Jamal Murray, right? And then they have the rest of those guys. If they play with LeBron, people will be saying LeBron needs more help.
No, they wouldn't. You're
Yeah, they
bugging.
Okay.
would.
Had
You bugging
Yeah,
the
they
fuck
Caldwell.
out
would.
of here.
He
No, they
had
wouldn't.
Caldwell Pope has absolutely been a difference maker, and he was a Laker.
Yeah, but they won the chip with Caldwell Pope.
And
Pull up.
wanted him out of there.
Nah, because he wanted more money, no?
I thought they wanted him out of there. It could have been about the money. Then he ended up with the Wizards. Was that his next stop? I need my other phone, but I think he ended up with the Wizards somewhere along the way. But who else? Bruce Brown. Like, these guys are good basketball players, but if LeBron has some of these guys, like Caldwell Pope is not better than D'Angelo Russell. I don't care how bad D'Angelo Russell's playing. Caldwell Pope.
No, never. Never that.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
I'm
Dennis
just saying Jamal Murray played better in this. Look, okay, let's how I put it like this. This is why the Nuggets won the series. Jokic played better than the best player on LA, which in my opinion was LeBron. And then Jamal Murray played better than the second best player on LA, which was Anthony Davis. And then the third best player on the Nuggets played better than the third best player on the Lakers, who is D'Angelo Russell. So, and we could keep going down the line.
third best player was probably Reeves or Hachimura, at least in the
Right.
series.
Right. In this series, yeah.
Reeves.
But based on star power, let's not forget D'Angelo Russell is a former All-Star. So like the best players didn't play as good as their best players, right? The role players played well, but that's not enough.
That's fair. That's fair. So I do want to project a little bit. It does look like Miami gets past
Yeah.
Boston.
Nah, but Boston takes game 4.
That's Boston said don't let us get one.
Well, they gonna take that one and they gonna end up they losing the next game.
You're gonna lose at home. All they did is just they wanted to get spanked at the crib. This way they could get back into their cars and home ASAP.
Don't let us get one.
They're gonna go back to Boston and what they gonna do? Win 4 straight? That's not gonna happen.
Fuck out of here.
It very well could. I do think a lot of this Boston stuff is based on the lack of coaching experience. I think Udoka or Brad Stevens gets this team past Miami, but Missoula is just getting outclassed. Playing guys, Peyton Pritchards, and letting Grant Williams talk crazy to Jimmy Buckets. Like, control your team, man. Control your team. But like I was saying, I do. What do you guys think about the potential matchup of Miami and Denver? Like, first of all,
that's a tough one to call because this whole Miami Heat run has been unexpected. I recall having a conversation with somebody during the play-in games, and they were like, "Who you like, the Hawks or the Heat?" And I said, "I got the Heat," and they lost. And I was like, "Man, I guess Jimmy Butler and the Heat just ain't got it no more." And then they got in the 8th seed, and then they beat the Bucks, and then they beat the Knicks, and now they've destroyed the Celtics. At least 3 games in, and they destroyed them, and now they've got a commanding lead. So it's hard to say because Jokic has been so dominant, but the Miami Heat as a team have been pretty dominant as a team. So if I had to pick, I'd have to go with, and I'm not even trying to oppose Jokic, but I got to go with the Heat because the Heat, and I wouldn't say it's a Jimmy Butler thing more than it's what they say, the Heat culture, the organization. How many organizations do you know that just find undrafted talent the way they do? They got the dude Gabe Vincent was going out crazy. Gabe Vincent is out playing Jaylen Brown like good luck. You know what I'm saying? And like you got other guys balling out. was it Cody Martin or Caleb Martin? One of the Martin twins going nuts. I know his twin would have wished he got cut from the Hornets because they know how to use guys and develop them and make them work in their system. And I think that part of that's coaching. I think part of that's culture. When you got a guy like Udonis Haslem in your locker room, and you got a real veteran presence, and versus Al Horford, who's never won anything in his life. You know what I mean? So I think it makes a difference.
Yeah, man. I wanted to see the Dominican guy get a ring, but it's looking like it's a.
Nah, he needs to stick to plotting those, man.
They get enough rings to stay in this world.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. The Miami always finds these guys that seem to be shot makers, whether it's Duncan Robertson, Max Strauss. There's always some random. When they had Kendrick Nunn, it's always some random guards that put the ball on the floor and just create a shot for themselves. It's impressive. I don't think they get past the Nuggets, but
Miami top organizational. I'm gonna talk a little about organizational culture. I learned this in business school. It's so relevant in the NBA. Why don't we talk about it enough? The Heat organizational culture is excellent. You know what I mean? The Nuggets culture is pretty good, but really they're just being led by a phenomenal like talent. You know what I mean? They have pretty good culture too, but the Heat culture is different. You know what I mean?
Pat Riley over there, right?
And the Celtics had a pretty good culture too of was uplifting youth culture until they got rid of their leader. And now the other guy doesn't have any cachet. This guy is literally the same age as Jimmy Butler.
That's a big point with Missoula, man. I saw a tweet that showed Jimmy Butler actually put Missoula out of the March tournament when Missoula was a player. So he's like, come back to bite him again. It's crazy, man. Sometimes life's stranger than fiction. But to have a guy that's younger, as Bryce likes to point out, making less than the stars, you could run into some issues in the locker room where guys hear you, but they not hearing you. I don't know, man. Anything else on the NBA playoffs?
Yeah. Nah, never mind, actually.
Okay.
I just want to say I hope the Lakers trade AD.
You hope they trade AD?
Yeah.
To who and for what?
For anybody
Don't
in
ask him that. He doesn't know.
To the Knicks. I want him to go to the Knicks. So when the Knicks needs a nice big, he's not there to show up.
You know who the Lakers should go? They're gonna trade somebody. They should go get Karl Anthony Towns, your boy, D'Lo.
Nah, fuck that bum. Don't you ever say that's my people. That boy's a bum. He a bum. He just wants to play Fortnite all day. That boy ain't got no heart, man. And that's the worst thing about it. He from Jersey. He makes me sick.
That's how they breed them out there, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, yo, watch your mouth, yo. Chill. I'm just like,
It's in Jersey.
and the crazy thing about it, he's from Piscataway. He'll run away.
All right. Random tag since we on New Jersey. I don't think I've spent any real amount of time in New Jersey. What is New Jersey known for?
Bad drivers.
What is it?
Bad drivers.
How would you know? You don't even be up here. You live in VA.
Yo, I've heard some crazy thing about them Jersey drivers,
man, bro. All y'all know is about hillbillies. Y'all mess around with y'all cousins. Y'all still walk on dirt roads.
Everything I've heard about
in the middle of the highway.
Everything I heard about Jersey is just the broke version of New York. Like it's just New York's little
that
brother.
That is not true. We pay more tax. Well, no, New York City's pay more taxes than we do, but our cost of living is way better.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. That I'm kind of from the school of Rome, where the only thing I know about Jersey is it's like New York light, fat-free New York.
Basically, the nightlife, yes, the nightlife in Jersey is not like New York.
Okay. Well, what if they had like a signature food or Philly has a Liberty Bell. Like,
Hey, don't you live in the burbs, bro?
the burbs, me currently.
Yeah, you live in the burbs. You live in the burbs. You live in the burb. You live in the Jersey equivalent of what New York is to Jersey, according to you. You live in PG County, which is the burbs of DC.
Nah, I would actually say that's probably more Virginia.
They're
P,
both of DC.
yeah,
Y'all
but
both live in the burbs. So what we talking
PG,
about here?
PG has a little bit more it has its own little thing at the same
Y'all
time.
two suburban, y'all suburban dwelling motherfuckers over here talking shit about Jersey.
You hear this shit? Finally, someone here. Oh, word.
You said we two suburban dads.
Bro, look at y'all wearing y'all hat backwards so y'all can still look young and cool. Fuck out of
No,
here.
I get it. I mean, you want to jump on the Maryland bandwagon? I feel you there. Maryland got great crabs. They're famous for crabs.
Nah,
But,
T, you gotta fix that brim. Never mind. Yeah, don't show us that brim. That brim look real wicked. That shit look wicked. That's a wicked ass brim.
How they do the brim in New York? You gotta bend it.
Yeah, you gotta bend it, my boy. You gotta bend it. Just, but nah, it's too late for it. That brim looks way wicked.
Harder. I'm not going for that look.
All
All right. Let's get back to sports. Enough for the culture, because obviously New Jersey has none.
Yo, the slander here is wicked.
There's been a lot of talk about that boxing match, man. A lot of people saying the match was stolen from Lomachenko. Did we all watch the fight first and foremost?
Yes,
I did.
Okay. Does anyone agree that Lomachenko was robbed?
No.
I don't think he was robbed, but I am surprised that they scored it the way they did. Because then they said the score, and the one guy had the score by 5, and I'm just like, where? But with all due respect to Lomachenko, I think he had some of the later rounds. He did score. He did kill him in the final 3 rounds probably all went to Lomachenko. And to his credit, there was more noise in the big hits that he had, maybe because of the crowd, and you can't account for that. But Haney did win the first probably 5 rounds, though, with all that being said. So Lomachenko, I don't think, did enough to convincingly say, okay, Lomachenko beat him. But Lomachenko had him kind of on the ropes to some extent, and Haney's lucky he got out of that joint alive, to be honest.
Okay. So I only saw, which is interesting, right? Because you say Haney probably won the first 5. I only saw the last 5 rounds. So my view of the fight was, whoa, like, hold up, how did this happen? But G, you watch a little bit of boxing. How'd you feel about it?
It goes to this, man. When you got a guy that has all 3 belts, you gotta knock him out. This is not like people want to say, well, they want to start comparing fighters into like the Mayweather era, where Mayweather got away with it. But that's the thing, Mayweather showed a lot of defense, and he made a lot of fighters look foolish. Nonetheless, like, these guys are not knocking these champions out, so no judge is gonna score it for the challenger to win it unless you knock out the champ. And that's what these guys are not understanding. You gotta knock them out. You can't let it drag, because you letting this drag to all 12 rounds. You don't know how a judge is gonna score a round unless you're clearly knocking the fighter down to the ground, to the canvas, and look legitimately. No judge is gonna give you the score to win the round. Whether you win that last round, I believe they can't really give you that last round. Even if you were whooping that boy's ass that whole last round, they're not gonna score for you to win, because you did not lock out the champion. You gotta either if you can't knock out the champion, you gotta at least put the champion down in a couple rounds. So that way when they do score it in the challenger favor, it could be legitimately. I'm like, all right, look, he knocked him down once or twice.
Yeah, I don't
So
recall
that way,
him getting knocked down at all, to be honest.
that's what I'm saying. Exactly why. But what I also got it from this fight is Haney needs to work on a power punch. Because if he go against Shakur, he ain't gonna last. He goes against Tank, a fighter that we all know has a great heavy hand. He ain't lasting. Shakur with the jab, it can only take him so far. I got him this far, but with a younger fighter in his class, he needs to work on a haymaker because he's himself. I think
I
his next
mean,
fight, if he doesn't knock out the next challenger, a judge might score and give it to somebody else.
I think Lomachenko found some chink in the armor, if you will. I mean, one thing I also noticed about Haney, you talk about that. Gee, I think that's a valid point. But to me, my thing with Haney was that he takes a lot of hits, and you just can't do that with anybody. Somebody gonna knock that ass out eventually.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine if he got hit by Tank, a nice he check his chin, built. He gonna hit the canvas at least one time.
See, that's my thing with Haney. I don't think he wants Tank at all. I don't think he wants to fight Tank. I think that would be
Nah,
bad news for Devin Haney.
nah, I don't think so. I think he doesn't want Shakur.
I don't think he wants either one of them, to be honest.
Look,
Very true.
I keep hearing reports that, like I said, I didn't see the rounds. Haven't had a chance to go back and watch it. But I keep hearing
Haney looked very sharp in the first 5 rounds. He looked Floyd May-esque in the sense that he was, sticking to his game plan and, he was, moving around a lot and, he was protecting himself. He was doing his thing.
I keep hearing body shots, body shots, body shots, body shots.
Haney had a lot of body shots on Lomachenko that just kind of they built up over the whole fight. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Lomachenko had some more face blows, and those kind of like got a little bit of oohs and ahs. You know what I mean?
I feel like boxing enthusiasts are going to call me a casual because I don't want to see a guy winning on the card on body shots. That's kind of like I don't want to see my team lose to a team that only kicked field goals. Like,
Yeah.
couldn't get in the end zone on us. But
That's my question. So like, G, I will ask you this, man. Like, does this help or hurt boxing? Like, do you think boxing needs more definitive? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying. They need more definitive like winners. Like because it sounds like everybody's disappointed in the simple fact that it came down to what the judges thought because everybody could have a different opinion if there's no clear knockdowns.
See, this is the thing, right? And in this weight class, it's not like it's the heavyweight class when you know someone's gonna get knocked the fuck out. Point blank, period. Pardon my French. Like you walking into, you're gonna watch a knockout when you go watch the heavyweight. But the lighter these guys weigh, the less power punches. Like that's why we're all at odds when it comes to Tank, because you haven't seen someone this small with such a ferocious punch. Like his left hook, his left jab, his left hook is just fucking crazy. Like he's short, stocky, where his physique, he could take a hit. He can land a powerful punch. And these guys, like, I'm not. That's why when back then, not too long ago, remember when me and Bryce had this argument where I was just not impressed. I was never a fan of Ryan because I'm like, man, this guy is just a finesse fighter. He's like, he just flashed, but he's not strong. Like, I like the heavier weights because it's like you're gonna watch a knockout. With these, it's just like it's all about the technique. And like when it comes to this division, it's just like it's who is the most flawless person in the ring. At one point, it was Lomachenko. At one point, it was no one trying to see Lomachenko.
yeah,
I'd say this. I want to see a rematch.
Yeah, but the dad came out and said no.
Yeah, no shit. The dad said no. If I was my son, I'd tell him I wouldn't want. Yeah, I think he said. Yeah, I think that was pretty convincing. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You don't want your son to get beat up.
I don't know, but you got to think about it. These guys are their own promotion, and it's like that's what
He
like
trying to protect his son. He know that his son was in the ring a little bit longer with that man. He gonna catch one. That's a smart dad. Protect your son.
Is it true that was his last fight on Top Rank?
What?
who
Haney.
no Haney. No. Haney is Haney. From my understanding, Haney is his own promotion.
Okay.
So that's why he's willing to fight a lot of other fighters. And I think because if I'm not mistaken, Shakur's your top rank.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I'm not up to date with all the boxing promotions and the politics. I just want to see guys fight, man.
shit, did you guys just find out about Crawford and Spence? They just announced it July 29th, I believe, or the 23rd. They're
That,
fighting officially. It's official.
that looks like that's the fight everybody wanted to see, man.
Yeah.
Like that's basically we're gonna get the pre Mayweather and Pacquiao before they were 2-0 fight,
It will be a
and it's just perfect.
to the fans. Well, I do think, right, you run it back. Let's say I want to address the comment. You run it back, and let's say Loma wins this time. Do you have to have a third?
Yes,
Yes. Yes,
because
absolutely.
because because Haney is the undisputed champion,
You know
and
what?
by
Now that I think about it, I think the best thing that could have happened was this to be controversial because this is what they wanted. Because if Lomachenko
That's
would have won, that would have been the end of the money train.
Right.
and
Oh,
that's why I was
yeah,
Lomachenko,
asking
they
is
would have been like, "Wow, you beat the champ," and that's it. Then Haney's value went bloop, and
this
Lomachenko's
more
value was like,
marketable?
"Yeah,
Because
now it could be a
I think
rematch.
fans,
You can
when
do
you
him like
have a
Wilder
little,
Fury."
you got like a little bit of disappointment because it's not as decisive, but that does, like Scruff said, keep the money train going to where you could turn this into two, possibly three fights. So I mean, hey, I see it going both ways, and boxing needs stuff like this, man. Keep the juice going. But I do get what G was saying in these lower divisions, like lighter weights or whatever. We don't see as many knockouts, and that does make it a little less decisive and enjoyable as a fan as well.
I do want to address something G said earlier too. Um, why is it that you have to knock out the champ? I can't just beat him.
because for you, all right. So so the reason why we even having the discussion is because you can't let the champ win round. You gotta literally dominate the whole time. If you're not locking out or just putting them just to hit the canvas one time, you gotta win majority of the rounds. You
Yeah,
see
I don't
these
think you
guys
got
are,
to knock them out, but you got to be convincing.
but
Yeah.
yeah, but these guys are splitting five. What is it? They're going up to 12 rounds, right? They're
Yeah.
splitting five or six or five. What judge is gonna give it to the challenger? He can't. I personally believe I wouldn't give it to the challenger, even if he won 6 rounds. I can't be like, well, I'm gonna give it to the champ just because it wasn't convincing enough. Like you did not dominate the whole fight. For me to give it to the challenger will have to win at least 8 of those rounds.
So if you have it like 114, 113 to the challenger, you're gonna be like, oh hell no.
Oh hell no, hell no! I gotta give it to the champ because the champ, you did not show me that you're that much better than him. You might have gotten a nice
And
hit here and there, but it's like,
I got a reference for y'all. Remember the Rocky movie? Remember the first time when he was fighting Apollo Creed? They didn't give him that joint.
Yeah, you took the L.
They was like, nah, bro. Like, good try though.
he took an ass whooping.
They was like, good try though. Like, we made a whole movie out of you not winning. Good try
But
though.
hey, but Spence and Bud should be a good fight. I'm expecting to see some fireworks. I'd like to side with Bud, but I really don't know. I really got to think about this, man. Like I like both of those guys. This fight,
I, I don't know, man. Earl Spence, when he came back from the accident, I didn't think he still would have had it in him. I thought he would have lost that fight when he came back. But to me, he looked even sharper.
yeah, but I don't know, man. Bud switch stances. He throwing punches
Uh,
from angles. It's tricky. It's definitely it's got me to the point where I think maybe I should fly down and see it firsthand. You know what I'm saying?
wait, they're having it in Texas, or they're gonna have it up in Las Vegas?
You
Vegas.
know, it's always in Vegas, bro.
The big fights. No, don't be surprised, man, because Canelo has some of the biggest venues were in Texas, man.
They be fighting at the Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's a
Jerry
nice venue
World.
right there,
Yeah.
and that crowd is big as hell. I mean, don't get me wrong, the MGA Grand Arena is nice, but that
They
Jerry
do
World when Carmelo walked out in that stadium, I was like, God damn.
they do everything at Jerry World, bro. Everything.
It's
Yeah.
not stadium, man. And I say that as a 49ers fan. I,
Because if you ever YouTube the Carnelo walking out, yo, bro, this it looked like half of the world was just there watching that fight. When I think who he fought in Jerry's world? Who did he fight? Let me get this real quick.
Jerry's World. But any other thoughts on Haney and Loma? Is it time, if they're not going to fight again? Is it time for Haney to fight Tank?
Well, he can't remember. Tank got I think he's in house arrest for like 9 months or something like that.
I mean, I was gonna say when like that, should that be his next big fight? Like they can take little smaller tune-ups and things like that, but should that be the next big fight?
It should be, but I don't know if he's gonna do that.
Hey man, or
If
should he fight Shakur?
it's one of those two, he got to fight one of those two. And
He
I'm not
might
gonna
want to
lie.
fight Lomachenko again before he fights either one of them guys. He don't want that sauce. I'm telling you.
I disagree. I think he'll fight Shakur.
Yeah, man, because I'm not gonna lie. I like this new generation. They're not trying to run. They want that money.
They want the bag. That's the quickest way to get bag. Go knock somebody out.
Yeah.
So well, let's get into some culture, man. Let's shift it. Let's shift it a little bit. I don't know too much about this topic. I ain't really get a chance to read through it too much, but hold on, LeBron put a line to the season. He might be serious about retirement. Okay, he gave it his all, man. He ran, but he don't got a phone shot. He can't. But no, that's what I was saying, though, you know, from the earlier segment. That was my point, man. Like these seasons are tough, and if he took 1 year off, a red shirt, I don't think that's crazy. Just to save your legs to come back and make one more run with your son. He did say if Bronny wants to play with him, but let's move on to the culture, man. There was a tweet that went around in the group chat about a ride sharing app / service, I suppose, that I think it was called, what was it called? Big Bad Wolf? Black Wolf?
Black Wolf.
Black Wolf. Wolf. It acts as a ride sharing service, just like Uber, Lyft, and whatever else. But it comes with professional drivers that aren't professional like race drivers. They're professional operators. They're professional military, former police. They're not civilians. They're guys with guns, and I guess they're there to protect you as well. So I don't know. You guys put this in the group chat. I didn't think it was a great idea, but I do see a use for it, man. How do y'all feel about potentially having a ride share? If you had the money, you know, would you call it?
What's the feed? What's the feeds?
I'm sure it's something crazy. They didn't say.
I don't know what the price is, but all the people that are hired are basically like ex-cops or
5 years of
retired military.
Yeah, like you got to be the top.
And they're armed. My thing is this: like, do you feel more or less safe with somebody armed and as a driver for the general pop? I just think it's like you just got to be a certain type of demographic that would want to buy this. My thing is this, and it seemed like, you know, it was like black owned company as well. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm all about supporting the black owns, but I don't know about how the general, you know, population, particularly white folks, was gonna feel about armed brothers picking them up in the car. They might as well just go get the Flannery car service from BMF.
I mean, if you're ex-military, you'll do fine. I mean, you'll get some thank you for your services and
you better hope they don't got PTSD, T.
I mean, well, that's the thing. That was my issue, right? I can't think of a time where someone was shot but no one had a gun. You know what I mean? So like having a gun exponentially raises the risk of something going wrong or something crazy happening. So whether the gun's on the civilian or the driver, like PTSD. The guy did 5 years. I don't know how many tours he did. I don't know if a car backfires, he pulls his gun out. I'd rather just, you know, if I need that much security, I'd rather just stay home. But
Well, yeah, that was really my only take on it. I don't think I even said too much on this in the group chat, but I think my only take really is I could just live a life where I don't get in the shootouts. Like that's option number one. I could not be in a firefight. I could just skip that entirely. Option number two is if you feel like you might be in a firefight, having an ex-military or ex-police officer as your chauffeur sounds like an excellent idea. I didn't realize it was black owned. I would support something like this. I don't personally need that type of security. If I did, I would probably support something like this. I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea if you, for some reason, aren't able to carry a gun and you feel like, you need that type of protection. I mean, we live in a world where I hate to talk about it, but there's mass shootings. Like I could honestly understand somebody feel like, yo, I'm going out tonight. I don't know if this somebody's just going to shoot up this club. Like that's something that happens here in America. So I can see how the idea of someone else who's a trained professional with a gun potentially to protect you. I don't know, man. There's a lot of superhero movies and TV shows. People have crazy fantasies, all these video games everybody playing. I kind of think it's unnecessary, but I could get the fear that people have that could easily lead into a business like this being lucrative. So
I
I
think
get it.
Hansel has a good point here. All of this is for your average Joe or Rome or T or you suburban men. This is it's like no, I'm saying this is for people like Hansel said. It's for something like celebrities in LA, like your boy they got at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Like you know what I'm saying. If he would have had Black Swan, he might have been alive still. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what
Yeah,
Jesus
but they
Christ.
but they don't they have stuff like that though? They have like security, like a team of security offers like that you could give to
that boy
like if I'm a
PNB Rock ain't had no
celebrity,
security. He was just out there with his chain hanging.
and that's on him because I'm sure
I
that
know,
there's
but he
plenty
could
of
have had Black
rappers.
Swan.
I'm sure that there's plenty of rappers that have hit up, security companies that have just given them security officers to roll with them.
but this is ride sharing. PNB
Yeah,
Rock killed
this
him.
sounds like more of like an app. Like I have Uber and I could just pull up an Uber. This sounds like something I could just pull up to the crib right
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah. I mean, you could pull up, but that don't mean that. The point is, bro, they armed and dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they charge more than the Uber X.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
I'm
definitely
sure too.
not for the average Joe. I do feel like if I know you have some sort of armed ride share, um, the odds are if I need to get you, I'll just wait for you to get out your car. Um,
How does that even work? If like certain cities, can you even do that? Can you even ride around with your
You
with your
got to
gun
have
on you?
available drivers. You might not have them everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like Uber.
This this seems like a state to state type of app.
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause I don't think in New York you're allowed to
Yeah, this is gonna
carry.
be like it's like gambling before it was legal everywhere.
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I wish them the best, and hopefully those armed guys don't have to use those firearms. But I do want to ask, and this is another little culture topic, a quick one. What are you watching? This is always a good one of my favorite segments. I know I haven't
Okay,
given time to think, but that makes
that's
it more
cool.
organic. So
I'm always organic. I've been watching Succession. I just started watching the. I just caught up on the new season, and it's been good. It's been good.
I,
I've been watching Succession, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
I've only seen season one. I mean, well, episode one of season one. So
Oh
it,
wow,
yeah,
just now.
I keep hearing that, but is this show what I think it is about basically Game of Thrones within the family?
To some extent, it's like a business type cutthroat family drama. Everybody's assholes to each other, but
Okay.
that's like the love that they have based on them being fucked up. Basically, yeah, they're all waiting for the dad to die. Basically,
Holy
um,
shit. It's fucked up.
not exactly, but the dad's also like a vicious motherfucker. Like the dad is amazing. So and the kids are all like they're all fucked
Pause.
up, and yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good. It's like but it's like a business family drama. It's good. I think it's good.
Rome, what are you watching?
I've been getting caught up on the boys. It's a
Got a
great
new season
series,
of that
bro.
out.
It's a great. Nah, I don't think there's a new season out yet. That's why I'm trying to get caught up now before it comes out. But yeah, it was a series that I hadn't checked out. Everybody obviously loves it. The memes been going crazy, and now that I'm getting caught up on it, I see what the hype is about. Top tier show, definitely a top tier show.
You late as hell, my boy.
That's a
Oh
good
yeah,
one.
I don't jump on it when it's trendy like everybody else. That's why I haven't watched your little dragon show yet.
Yeah, that's why you live in
I
the
don't
burbs.
I don't just follow the Scruff said he's watching Game of Thrones. Let me hop on there. Like
You know, it should
Hey,
just
yo.
should just try takes a little while before it reaches out there. That's all.
Game of Thrones is life changing. So I don't know what you're doing with that one, but when you get around,
You do it the same thing
life
you do with an
they said
Android phone. That's
life changing, bro. Life
I,
changing. Okay. That's what they told me about The Walking Dead.
no, I don't know who told you that. That was terrible.
that's probably one of your Virginia folks that said that wrong.
That
So
sounds
is Game of Thrones the best show to ever be put on television?
yes.
Cat.
It's definitely top 5.
No, it's number one. I'm gonna tell you why. Tell you why.
Tell us why. Tell
I'm
us why.
It's the only show that I can think that everyone from every demographic likes.
Nah, it's not.
Yeah,
It's
nah,
not though.
nah.
It's
Um,
not.
He's not.
it's
What
He's
not. The
not
people don't
lying
like
though.
it.
Who
Nah,
don't
but
like it? Democrats like it. Republicans like
Okay,
it.
okay, good point there.
I need to see the Republicans that like it, T.
People that Harry Potter fans like it. People that only watch sports like it. Like, what group of you got to be insane or just not really in the TV to not like it, right? Or you're actively trying not to like it.
I'll
Like,
tell you what, you make a good point there. Like, you know, I don't know if y'all was watching The Last of Us.
yeah,
I just couldn't get
yeah.
into it, man. I don't know. People are like, it's so to me so good. I'm just like, I couldn't get into it, man. There's only so much zombie shit I could watch. You know what I'm saying?
The Last of Us is good on a human level because it's not just about zombies, but like
Yeah.
not Game of Thrones, and it's not anything that it's not life changing. Like you can go without it, but like Hansel said, Game of Thrones trended for 3 years, over 3 years.
I would say The Wire is up there with Game of Thrones, personally.
I like The Wire,
Yeah.
but I like The Wire. I like The Wire. The Wire actually is. I thought The Wire was number one, and it was
Great character development. Those two things those shows have in common.
the world building and the character development. Excellent. Yeah, that's fair. And both shows made stars out of the cast members. Like those guys that were in
Yeah,
were able to go out and
yeah.
I'll tell
They
you
weren't
what,
famous before that for real.
Succession does a good job of building the characters up too.
I haven't heard any negative things about Succession. So
You start to get to know the people, and you're just like, oh, okay, I kind of like cousin Greg. You know what I mean?
Yo, so Succession is it worth the hype? Because I'm hearing a lot of hype about that one too.
It's good. It's funny. It's got like good dry humor, real cynical shit. Like
I could get into that. Yeah, I could
it's
get into
good.
that.
G, what you got? G? I know.
So
Hold on. Last time you told me a good one. What was it? Love, Death, and Robots? I think that was a good.
shit.
That was a good
That's
one.
my shit. All right. All right. So I'm watching two asshole shows right now. You guys watch this Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I seen that.
I don't.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
a
watch
good
it,
show
bro.
too. It's a good
Yeah,
show.
but yo, what I mean, it's the most wildest shit. It's like it's racist, but it's not racist. This type of shit. It's like the most. It's like you don't want to laugh at the shit, but it's like damn. I do see myself in those kind of predicaments, depending on what kind of friends I'm with. And I'm also watching Peacemaker again. That shit's hilarious.
That shit's
John Cena
hilarious.
one?
Right?
Yeah, so John Cena is. Yo, my son is wild. My son is super wild on that shit. And then I'm watching the Yankees. You know what I mean? The Yankees are back up. People, ladies and gentlemen, you always got to watch the Yankees. Some of the best baseball in the world right now. Nothing but the best. We got 27 rings. And then there's the Yankees. Who doesn't want to be a part of New York City? Nobody wants to be a hillbilly in VA. And nobody wants to see horses. Everybody wants to be in the big city, bright lights. You want to be in the Bronx. You want to curse at people, come to New York City, and we don't care.
That was
Spoken like a true person from New Jersey. Come to New York City, not New Jersey.
Hey. What does VA have besides the
New,
beach?
New Jersey is literally just an ad for New York. Like
And that's fine with me. And that's fine
y'all
with
are a
me. And
big
that's
ass
fine with me.
billboard for New York. Like shit.
But no
Y'all
one
are
goes to VA to have
y'all
fun.
are
They
the
go to
rest stop
DC.
on the way to New York.
Hey, I'll tell you what, bro. I'd rather live in New Jersey than Virginia any day, bro.
I
Because you know
bet you
Facts.
what?
would.
Because
I
because
bet you
I tell you
would.
what. Because I tell you what. If them Confederates start wrangling their people together, your neck gonna be ringed up on the curb neck first, bro. You gonna be hanging up there just with the rest of them, bro.
Yo, son. Yo, all right, I don't know whether to give you a fragrant foul for that, sir, but you're one away from getting kicked out.
I'm just saying, bro. Like
Oh my
I'm telling
lord,
Virginia
bro.
Tex
is
now.
not safe, bro. It's not safe, bro. Get out of there.
Bro. Oh my goodness, bro. You
Get out of
talking
there.
like it's still 1985, bro.
You
Like,
got to get on this side of the Mason Dixon.
right.
Damn, I
Northern
haven't heard that
Virginia,
word in forever. The Mason
Northern
Dixon line, Jesus Christ. You also had
Northern
the
Virginia
Dixon
is no
store?
longer run by the Confederates. That has definitely been confirmed. The
Well,
ones
I've
that are
seen
still
some of
out
them flag.
here are
I
big
seen them
mad.
flags. I seen them flags flying high over there.
Well,
I
there's some flag flyers, but it's not many. Trust me, bro. Trust me. I've seen the evolution. If you thought
Yeah.
you saw something the few times you was out here, it's been a lot worse.
I tend to agree with Scruff on this one. I'm gonna go to New Jersey before I go to VA. But let me get off my what have you watching so we can get out of here. So I've been watching a few shows. One I just finished called Defending Jacob on Apple TV. I just stumbled across it. It's about a lawyer who's he's a district attorney who gets a murder case. A kid was killed in his son's school in the woods on the path that his son takes to school, and his son becomes suspect number one. And his son ends up getting tried for the murder, and he gets taken off, and basically his family's dealing with the murder of this kid potentially by his son, and he's on the other side of the courtroom now. Now he's defending instead of prosecuting. So it's a crazy show, a lot of twists, a lot of turns. I would recommend it. I would recommend it. Watch another show called Silo on Apple. It's a new show. Basically, humans are living in a silo way in the future. They don't know why they're living in a silo, but they know if they go outside, they die. So everyone who tried to go outside has died within a couple minutes, and you see their bodies laying there. But a couple people inside have figured out that maybe outside isn't what the world inside the silo thinks. So it's a sci-fi / mystery. They're trying to figure out what's going on outside the silo. There's some murder inside the silo. There's some corruption. It's not the
I,
greatest. That's what I'm watching.
I got a question. Did you guys finish watching the new season of Power?
I never watched the
Is
first.
that was the last episode the final episode?
Did you see season episode 10 and 9 already?
The joint with Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen it.
Both of them? Both of them? Damn, I'm not even trying to ruin it if you didn't watch it. Never mind.
Yeah, I seen the one with Tommy where it takes the mom, right?
Did you see the whole ending?
Yeah, he takes the mom. He kidnaps her.
That's it? That's all you remember?
What else?
Did you not see? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to spoil the show for you guys. If you haven't watched it and you didn't
Spoiler
get the
alert.
lead, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler
Just
alert.
spit it out, man.
Remember when Tyreek was they double crossed them, everybody at the end?
What do you mean?
Oh, so you didn't watch it. Nah.
I did
Stop
watch
right.
it. What do you
No,
mean
he
though?
didn't. Remember when he's trying to get, and when Effie tells him about, oh, hey, I know where Shorty got her kid at, and then he tells her, you don't want to kill me because I know where your daughter's at. When Tyreek tells the big honcho, and then she's like, oh, where? You think I didn't know? Because then Effie pops out in the back. When Tasha
Oh
tries to
no, I ain't see
kill,
that joint. That was that in the preview.
nah, that's episode 10. You only watch episode 9.
Nah, I literally nah.
Nah.
Some shit.
Yeah, I got the crystal clear leak. I got the whole thing.
Oh nah, you on some other shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Nah,
tell you. He
you
said,
good.
"Spit it
You
out." Pause. I'm
you
trying
know
to tell
you
you, like,
know
oh,
you
Hold
know
on,
G.
the,
You
I
know G. You
mean,
lucky. You lucky. I barely understand what you saying.
hold up. The episode,
oh, que te hablan español, maricón, maricón.
and you asking this man if he seen it. That's crazy.
Pause. Hey, yo, son. Hey, yo, there's a whole lot of technical fouls going on here, man. What's wrong with y'all?
It's late, man. It's getting raunchy.
Yeah, that's how you know it's getting late.
Hey, y'all know
This
how.
is HBO After Dark. Gas After Dark.
Look, man, Gas Sports Network, man. You can find us on them socials. Hit us up on the Twitter, the IG, Gas Elite AAU, man. We play every week. If you want to check out some kids, every Tuesday, Saturdays, and Sundays, we out here, man. We making it happen. Y'all know how we always end it, man. Sports for the culture.
Sports for the
Deporte
culture.
Aventura. Eu